Om Shanti, Namaste. Thanks so much for joining me. Bev Hetherington here. So this is our One Posture Wednesday, and today I'm going to be talking about a standing backward bend, Anuvittasana. So normally in preparation, we would take a little side lateral stretch to open up the sides of the body. And so I'd like to start with a refresher Tadasana, mountain posture. So as always, you choose whether you want the feet hip distance apart, sit bone distance apart, or together. So always yogi's choice. And obviously wider gives you a broader surface area for your backward bend if you know you're a little bit unsteady on the feet or wobbly today. And that is, you know, it can happen from day to day, from moment to moment at the moment. So we're just going to start actually grounding down, getting a sense of the ground, the feet on the earth, and we're going to start to breathe from the ground up. So I'm just going to invite you first of all to look at your feet and pick up the 10 toes and spread them. So we're inviting more space, quite common that the fingers and thumbs start to work at the same time. And then we're pressing down through the balls of the foot, the outside blades of the foot, and the inside-outside heels of the foot. And there's a lift through the inner arches, ankles, knees, groins. And we start to apply Mula Bandha, which is a root lock and lift, from the pubic bone to the tailbone. And we're drawing up Uddiyana Bandha, so that abdominal lift draws in, up and back. And we're not contracting the glutes. We would like them to relax and go down with the tailbone straight down. As we continue the rise up, front ribs are on the back body. There's a broadening at the collarbones. So imagine your shoulder blades. These are your shoulder blades, and they're going to slide down towards your tailbone. We're relaxing and dropping the chin to the chest, applying Jalandhara Bandha at the throat. If you're applying Mula, Uddiyana and Jalandhara at the same time, you're applying Maha Bandha. So this is the only time we would want a triple chin. And this means the back of the neck starts to lift and the crown of the head reaches up as we're pressing down through the four corners of the feet. Try not to press back through the calves. So you want a slight softness, a slight micro bend around the knees as you press down into the four corners of the feet and up out the top of your head. So the arms are relaxed by the body. And the lungs, the breastbone is lifted as if the lungs are like balloons of air, if you like. But we're not sticking the ribs out. There's a broadening still in the collarbones. So we're just going to settle here, and you might soften the gaze to the tip of the nose or close your eyes or take the gaze to your toes. Just acknowledging the natural body buoyancy. The side to side, back and forth, diagonal, and any other movement that's happening for you. And we're really trying to invite that stack of the knees over the ankles, the hips over the knees, the shoulders over the hips, the earlobes over the shoulders, the top of the head reaching up. And that's the start of your plumb line down the spine to the tailbone and into the heels, the calcaneum. Take a moment to acknowledge that balance. And it was a balance when we were learning to walk. And from here, perhaps inhaling from the feet and toes all the way up through ankles and knees, hips, ribs and shoulders, the jaw, and off the top of your head to pause. And exhaling from the top of your head through the jaw and shoulders, the ribs, the hips, the knees, the ankles and the 10 toes to pause. Inhaling the feet and ankles, knees and hips, ribs, shoulders, jaw and the top of the head, pause. Exhaling, top of the head, jaw, shoulders, ribs, hips, knees, ankles and feet, pause. One more, inhaling the feet, ankles and knees, hips, ribs and shoulders to jaw, and then pause off the top of your head. Exhaling the top of the head, the jaw, the shoulders, the ribs, the hips, the knees, the ankles, feet and toes. Very slowly opening the eyes if they were closed. And let's move to Anuvittasana. So this would be arms. Urdhva is upward, Hast is hands. So we're going to inhale our arms up. Try not to let the shoulders come up to the ears. Try to keep the shoulders away from the ears and broadening through the collarbones. I'm just going to move to the side. Try not to puff out the front ribs and you've then shortened in the back body. Try to send the tailbone down, relax the glutes still. Front ribs on the back body. And then you're reaching up with the fingers and thumbs. The gaze is straight forwards and we're pressing down through the four corners of the feet, but we're not pressing the calves backwards. We're not locking the knees. There's still that micro bend in the knees. Active work, keep pressing down through the four corners of the feet and reaching up out the top of the head, fingers and thumbs. The palms face each other, the crook of elbows face each other. Keep relaxing the shoulders into the sockets. So we're inviting space in the side body here in preparation for our back bend in a moment. One more breath. Inhale, press down through the four corners of the feet, reach up out the top of the head, fingers and thumbs. And exhale, release the hands down. So let's go back to our Tadasana, and we're going to come to Parshva Anuvittasana, which is a little standing side bend, a lateral stretch. So let's inhale, take the arms up. As before, relax the shoulders, and you can interlace the fingers here or thumbs if you wish. Relax the shoulders. Remember, we're not puffing the breastbone out and shortening in the back body. Tailbone down. Still with the knees over the ankles, the hips over the knees, the shoulders over the hips. And then inhale, press down through the feet, rise up through the top of the head, fingers and thumbs. And as you exhale, you're going to come over to your right side. So it's quite common that we lift out of that left foot. Stay with the equal weight through both feet. Try not to drop that top shoulder and twist at the hips. Imagine that there's a hedge right underneath this right armpit, and it yields as you press down through the feet and out the top of the head and exhale a little bit further over. So remembering, we're not trying to shorten in this right side of us. We're trying to stay long because we're opening up into the side body for our back bend in a moment. One more breath, breathing in and breathing out. Both feet equal weight into the earth. Inhale to come up, exhale to release the arms. Have a little rotation in your shoulders, one way and the other way. And let's go to the other side. Feet as before, inhale, take the arms up. You can bring the palms together, you can interlace the thumbs the other way if you wish. Relax the shoulders down, remember front ribs in the back body, don't lock those knees. Inhale, press into the four corners of the feet, reach about the top of the head, fingers and thumbs. Don't let the shoulders come up, keep them down, and then exhale. So that little hedge through your right armpit, your left armpit I should say, as it yields. Inhale, press down through both feet equally, exhale, open up a little more. And remember, we're not collapsing on this left side, and we're not dropping the top shoulder and twisting. We're staying as if we're opening over that hedge. One more breath, breathing in. Relax that top shoulder, breathing out. Good. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, release the arms. So you might hopefully feel a little more open in the intercostal muscles between the ribs, the front of the body, and this prepares us, gives us space to move into for our Anuvittasana, which is our backward bend. So when you're ready, slowly going to come to the side so you can see what I'm going to do. So the feet, as you get used to your back bend, you might slowly start to bring the feet closer and closer together. Again, as you're beginning, have a wide surface area that you're covering. So keep that awareness of the four corners of the feet. Feet to hip distance to begin, toes facing front, heels straight behind, still aware of the balls and the outside blade, inside, outside, heels down, toes a light touch and spread, inner arch, lifting ankles, knees and groins lifting, still applying the bandha, mula and uddiyana, and jalandhara bandha if you wish to, at the throat. So let me talk you through it. We're going to inhale and take the hands behind us. I'm just going to come to my back to show you my back, forgive me. So that the fingers are wide, you can see, and the heel of the hand is kind of on the lower lobe of the top of the glutes, and the fingers are wide, and what they're going to do is they're going to press those hips forwards. So what you might like to do first is have a little play with hands on hips. Feet to hip distance as a buoyancy, a micro bend in the knees. Chin on the chest. Inhale at neutral and exhale and let the hips go forwards. So you're pointing that tailbone forwards. Inhale back to neutral and exhale, stick the bottom backwards and point the tailbone up. And again, inhale to neutral, exhale, point the tailbone forwards. Inhale to neutral, exhale, point the tail back and up. One more. Inhale to neutral. Exhale, point the tail forwards. Inhale to neutral. Exhale, point the tail back and up. And then inhale to neutral and exhale there. Find your neutral. And then take those hands wide with the fingers and thumbs. Heel of the hand on the lower lumbar, the top of the glutes. Fingers and thumbs wide. Roll those shoulders back and broad collarbones. Imagine you're trying to draw the elbows to touch. And then inhale, bend the knees, so you're pointing the tail forwards. And there's a hook in your heart that draws you forwards and up. Keep the chin on the chest. Keep using the hands to press those hips forwards. The glutes must be relaxed. Don't let them contract. Be in the four corners of your feet for 3. Keep the chin tucked to the chin to the chest for 2. And for 1. Inhale, gently come up, shoulders on top of hips. Exhale, release. Have a little circle through the shoulders and we're going to take a second set. So when you're ready, feet hip distance, toes facing front. Feet can be slightly more together if you feel comfortable. Buoyancy, a micro bend in the knees. Hands come behind us, wide fingers and thumbs. Roll the shoulders back, draw the elbows to press. Inhale, point that tailbone forwards. Go with that wave-like motion and shape of the spine. Hook in the heart, draw it forwards and up. Chin on the chest to protect the back of the neck. Don't contract those glutes. Point those hips for 3, for 2, and 1. Inhale, come all the way up. Shoulders over hips. Exhale, release. Have a little roll in the shoulders. Maybe even have a little movement into your hips. Just see how it feels to release from side to side and front and back, little circle. And let's go to the third and final set. When you're ready, toes facing front. Feet can be hip distance, sit bone distance, or together. Micro bend in the knees. Swing the hands behind you. Wide fingers and thumbs. Roll the shoulders back, broad collarbones. Get those elbows to touch. Imagine that's happening. Inhale, point the tail forwards, hooking the heart, draws forwards and up, the chin on the chest, and you're really using the hands to press those hips forwards. Relax the glutes. Be in the four corners of your feet for 3, for 2, and 1. Inhale with control, don't rush it. Always come out the way we go in. Shoulders over hips. Release the hands. Have a little rotation in the shoulders, one front, one back. A little movement into those hips from side to side. Maybe some circling just to release. And then when you're ready, coming to sit down, I'm just going to offer an awareness of just being sat for a moment or so to just receive that practice. So you can sit up on a block if your knees are higher than your hips. Just inviting the knees in line with the hips or lower. We're drawing the long thigh bone into the back of the hip socket. Any position, legs can be wide, one leg out, both legs out. We're just softening the gaze, closing the eyes, and acknowledging this Anuvittasana, this standing back bend, and the preparation we took to offer that space in the body. Thanks for joining me. This is Bev Hetherington on Nutri5+, my One Posture Wednesdays. This will be loaded up either today or tomorrow onto my YouTube channel. You can get that from www.nutri5plus.co.uk. And if you scroll down to the services and classes written in white, click on that. It takes you to my weekly online classes. Go down to Wednesday and there's a little link. It's the word here. Click on that. It takes you to the YouTube channel and there's lots of One Posture Wednesdays on there and more yoga videos for you. Please share them if you think they're going to be useful to your friends and family. and I'll see you next Wednesday. Thanks so much. Om Shanti. Namaste.